What's going on, everybody? It's Rick from Gardening with Barchuckin. A couple quick tools, an old butter container, this little rake that I got with the Vermihut Plus, and then a little shovel. With harvesting these castings, one of the easiest things that I found to do is have a light shine above, take this little rake and kind of dig down to agitate the worms. They start to burrow and go underneath, and then all I have to do is come scoop the top layer off, and this goes pretty quick. I just kind of look to see if I see any worms, and if I do, then I go to another area. Like there's a worm right there, so come on. So I'll just kind of take them off, and then I'll just keep adding this vermicompost into the butter container until this is all gone. Oh, another little baby worm. I'll bring you guys back in a little bit after I harvest most of this vermicompost. Well, that was special. So I did get one tub. I just dumped it into my castings bin. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. Okay. Oh, there's my second tub. And this is a skin. Looks like I'm thinking a potato, but I'm fine with that being in with the castings, just in case there's any cocoons or baby worms. It'll give them something almost like a bedding that they can eat on. And as you see, as you get lower and lower, you just scrape off less and less until the worms all find their way down. So, as not to bore you too much, I'm just going to leave this little bit in here for right now, and I will go down to the feeding area and start checking in and seeing how the worms are making out. So let's see how these worms are doing. You can see there are some castings that came through from that harvest tray. Okay, well, not much going on in the feeding area. Here's some worms. They were kind of in this corner, so I kind of have a feeling that's how these other corners are going to be too. That one was a strikeout. This is a moister corner, at least with castings. So we'll see how this is looking. Well, there's a few worms that were in the middle section here. And there's some worm activity in that corner. Okay, I can smell the citrus, but I didn't really come across. Oh, there's Yeah, there's a piece there. I'm like, I can smell it. I'm just not seeing it. And that's tomato skin. Okay. Looks like a little bit more carrot in that feeding. Still using the pulp from the juicer. Here's the ground up eggshell. The worms can use that for grit. It also helps to add a little bit of calcium into the garden and can help balance out the pH if things tend to get a little too acidic. See a couple guys up top. I don't want to sprinkle the worm chow directly on them if I can help it. Worm chow, I like to add that. That goes ahead and gives the worms something that's available much quicker, and as the food continues to break down in the center, the feeding zone, then the worms can go ahead and go after that feeding. So the last time I did the feeding, this was all stuck to the bottom of the castings, the harvest tray. So I'll get that in there, and I'm going to go ahead and add the paper back to the center. I will go ahead, after I check down below, I will spray this with a little bit of water just to help give it some moisture. Oh yeah. As you see, all the bedding that was falling out. Here's a couple worms right in here. Right there. Okay. I'll go ahead and just quickly look through this. As you can see, this is still fairly dry, but then there are a few areas that are starting to develop and hold on to some moisture. Wow. Okay. These guys, bad boys, they're heading back into the feeding area. Well, this gives me another chance once again to show you. This has these little feet in the corner. They have to go inside the basin to lock in. And then on the sides, the tray fits inside those little grooves to help lock the system together. I didn't have a whole lot of worms going down into that basin or even into that white tray early on, because I used to have paper at the very bottom. The problem with that is when you go to harvest and move things around, I was having to kind of fight that paper. So now I just kind of let the worms roam and do what they please, and then if I notice they're down there, I go ahead and I move them back up to the top feeding tray. So I have some more bedding to add. That was all stuck on the bottom of the feeding tray and that inoculating tray section. I'm okay with that staying on top for right now. And I have my spray bottle. Just to help add that moisture back to the top cover for the feeding zone. And then last but not least, I'm adding the harvest tray back to the top, and I'll continue to agitate this, let those worms continue down to the feeding area, and then harvest the last bit of castings. Well, thanks for coming along, checking out another harvest and the 37th feeding of the Vermihut Plus worm tower. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to drop them down in the comments below. Thanks for coming along, checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.